Hey there guys, this is Jake Schgoss, and you probably don't know me since this is a new YouTube channel. I wanted to just kind of introduce myself to the YouTube community, show you around some of the stuff I've been working on, kind of get you up to date with what I've been doing, and kind of talk about the direction that I want to take the channel as I get it started, and some of the projects that I want to work on for the rest of this particular series. Now, the world I'm in right now is actually a multiplayer world, as you can probably tell from the chat in the bottom left hand corner. It is actually hosted by Hades MC. He's a fellow YouTuber. Shout out to him. Thank you for hosting all these servers. We love them. Now, I mostly play on Skyblock and Creative, but he has several others, including a survival, a PvP if you're into that kind of thing, even a Pixelmon. So if you wanted to check out anything he has to offer, it's hub.hadescraft.com. We'll get you there, and he has portals to the rest of his servers from there. So anyway, I'd like to go ahead and start out by giving you a tour of my Skyblock Island as it stands now. Obviously this is kind of my bedroom, my little home base here. Got the jukebox in the corner, got a full collection of records, bed, and a chest for some of our precious materials. Nothing too fancy. I did get a boss enchantment on this diamond sword first time through, so gotta love that. But yeah, well, I just want to take you on a quick tour here, so let's get started. Now, this is the house section I actually built around the mob grinder. This is a wall of the mob grinder here. I'm not sure if later on I want to cover this up or do something else with it, but we'll kind of see where that goes. I think the painting helps, but I don't know. So you guys kind of let me know in the comments what you think of that, and if I should do something a little bit different or not what it is to make it look a little bit better. But let's go ahead and head down. Now, obviously, you can tell right off the bat, this is not your typical Skyblock island. I have come quite a long way from the original starter setup, which you can kind of see off in the distance here. We'll just go to the end, get a good look at it. See that? Just, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 5 levels worth of dirt. Now, there are 3 sand blocks hidden inside the island. Has 1 oak tree and a chest full of your starter stuff, which includes a lava bucket and a couple blocks of ice, as I recall, as well as some basic like pumpkin and melon seeds, a couple mushrooms, just the usual starter kit for Skyblock survival. And of course from there I sort of expanded out, did the tree farms. We have one for oak off on the side, spruce, junglewood, and of course birch there on the back corner. Then you move into the main section of the island here, and we have our nether portal here. Now if you're wondering what the trapdoors are for, if you haven't seen this done before, this basically tells the mob that there is a block there for them to stand on, which fools the new AI, because they will go ahead and walk right off of these and land basically wherever you're wanting them to go. So if you're doing a pistonless, pretty much waterless mob trap, kind of like the one I have up here, you just have spawning platforms and you need them to walk off rather than be pushed off by like a redstone controlled water flow or pistons, then the trapdoors are a good way to do that. Now while the new AI for the mobs still makes them kind of inactive at a certain distance away, within the hot zone spawning distance, it's about 24 to 36 blocks away from the player, they will move and be very active and will walk off of those ledges as long as they have the trapdoors sitting open like this. And that's what leads to just a ridiculous number of mobs like you can kind of see here. Now, Normally this would be exceedingly loud. I did do a recording before this, and it was just so insanely loud I had to turn all the sounds down. It was just bad. So, on this particular server, griefing is actually turned off. So if a creeper blows up, not going to kill anything. And then the convenient part about this is that you end up being left with a bunch of witches, which is at this point kind of what we're looking for as far as the loot drops that we really want. Redstone, glowstone, glass bottles, etc. Hey, glowstone. Well, I want the redstone, but okay, we're not going to worry about that. I can get more later. But anyway, that's kind of the mob trap and how that all works. Yeah, of course we have our cocoa bean farm. Not that you need a whole bunch of cocoa beans on the Skyblock survival thing, but if you do, they're here. If you're a fan of cookies, yeah, I mean, this and a wheat farm would pretty much set you up. We've got our sugarcane farm, and yes, I do realize that this could be more efficient. I could have 3 rows of dirt and 2 rows of water instead of the way I have it set up here. Now, the reason I did this is because earlier on I was trying to do everything without buying anything from the spawn shops, and I wanted to conserve the dirt as much as possible, so I actually reduced it down to the 2. I am currently thinking about bringing this back up to 3. But I think what I'll end up doing is just replacing this middle row with a hopper collection system for the sugarcane, and doing a piston system here that's just hooked up to a timer. So this will collect itself automatically and I won't have to worry about that. Now, of course, I'm sure you've seen this kind of setup for the cactus farm before. And what I'm working on right now, which I will show to you here in a little bit, is a much larger version of this system. So I will eventually, once that's done, be replacing this with a snow farm. So now that we're in 7.4, if I build high enough up, when it starts to rain, I will instead get some snow. I can collect that, make a snow golem, and do an infinite snow farm. And that'll give me yet another material to build with, which is always awesome, and actually gives me a reason to make shovels on the island, which are kind of useless otherwise. So let's continue on. Now obviously here we have just our basic wheat farm, nothing too fancy with it. Pumpkin farm, carrot farm, and then we have the same general setup over here. Got the potatoes here, melons here, and then a place for another wart if they ever decide to add it to the Skyblock survival thing. Now I'm hoping they will. They do have other nether resources in the shop, like soul sand and netherrack and gas tiers for potion brewing and stuff. I'm not sure exactly how you're supposed to get your hands on nether wart, as it's not a reward for any of the challenges, but they're giving you other potion brewing ingredients, so I would assume it is eventually going to be added at some point. I hope that's the case. But continuing on, you'll see a lot of this water stuff. Now my plan is to go ahead and put lily pads over all of this, which I can get from fishing, again, now that we're in 7.4. However, right now there's some sort of weird plugin bug that's making it so that you can't actually see the bobber when you cast into the water. So it's made fishing very difficult. I've attempted it a couple times. I've caught one raw salmon. So yeah, not too effective. But yeah, hopefully that's something they'll fix soon. Now this server, the Skyblock server, is still in beta, so they're working out kinks as we're playing on it, and just kind of stress testing the whole thing and all that nonsense. But yeah, once it goes alpha, I'm sure all of that, or not alpha, excuse me, once it's live officially, I'm sure they will have all of that worked out. But yeah, over here, because I kind of forgot and went over there first instead of coming here. We have a pigman who was just begging to be shot with an arrow, so let's do that. And no, just rotten flesh, huh? Alright, well, thankfully we get another shot at that. Seriously? Just the rotten flesh? I don't care about experience. I want gold nuggets, guy. Alright. Obviously, this is the most ineffective gold farm you have ever seen, and this is on the project docket. This is something that I want to expand upon and make just a much, much better gold farm. Obviously, this is not going to get me where I want to go goal-wise, but I do have plans to upgrade this in the future, so don't worry, guys. That's a project you get to participate with me on, and it's something we'll be tackling after the project that I'm currently working on. Anyway, yeah, here's your standard, well, slightly more than standard cobble generator. Now you'll notice it looks a little different. I did make it out of stone bricks. Now, part of that is just being arrogant and showy and being like, hey, I can make things that aren't made out of cobblestone and wood. But mostly I did this for contrast, because these are this is cobble, and I need to know what I can mine. Like, this is what you mine. Stand here, mine that, and you just kind of keep going with it. Got 2 water source blocks, 1 lava source block, and then I know I shouldn't mine this because it's not cobblestone. So it just kind of helps with contrast on that. Now this fun contraption here, and I do have to give particular props to a YouTuber who showed me this. I forget who you are, I apologize for that. But it's a very cool concept. It uses either a feature or glitch in the game, not sure which, that'll turn redstone into obsidian. So since I have infinite redstone from the mob grinder, I basically have unlimited obsidian from this little contraption. I pull this lever, that's going to close off the lava flow. You can kind of see under here we've got obsidian. There we go. And this lever over here just drops the staircase so that we can access and mine this out. Replace it with redstone dust. There's water flowing right along here. Interacts with the lava and turns the redstone into obsidian. So when you're ready, once you have it refilled with redstone, flip that switch, brings the stairs back up so that you don't accidentally get burnt by the lava, because it can happen if they're down. It will only flow to this block. That's the way I have it set up. So it won't overflow, but it can burn you if you're standing right there. So I just like to throw the stair up, and then you're actually perfectly safe standing here. Though might be a little uncomfortable for guys to stand there like that. Anyway, and then you throw this switch, and it releases the lava, turns your redstone into obsidian, and you're good to go. Moving on. Of course, this is the oak part of the tree farm. Now you'll notice on this particular side I have all giant oak trees, and on this side I have all small oak trees. That, believe it or not, is not by design. I just randomly got giant oak trees over here, and I got tiny ones over here, and I've been trying to grow these and make them big, but it's not working. I just keep getting the small ones. I'm clearing out the leaves before I like bone meal the crap out of these. Alright, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Not exactly sure what happened. It just kind of kicked the connection for one reason or another. But, yeah, we're backing up and running again. So yeah, like I was saying, giant trees over here, small trees over here, want giant trees over here, but it's not working. So, yeah, if you guys have any tips or tricks about how to make giant trees come up over here, that would be awesome, because frankly I think they're going to look a lot better as giant trees than they do as just the little trees. And, I mean, you get more resources and stuff from them as well, so yeah, just kind of let me know down in the comments if you have any tips or tricks for that, or if you prefer the look of the little trees versus the big trees, because I mean, I can tear those down. I don't really want to, but like if you just hate the look of these giant trees, I can just get rid of them. Give me, you know, a few minutes and an axe. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Over here we have our chicken farm, and it does appear to be running fairly well. Hop in over here. Now, I'll show you how this works. It's a little different than your typical... Alright, so he's just sort of glitching out of the... Basically, I have 10 chickens up here, feeding eggs into this... That's not supposed to be there. Into this dispenser. And this is hooked up to a redstone clock. So I flip this lever, it's going to shoot eggs and until it's out, basically, and then it'll just start clicking and being irritating, at which point you'd want to go ahead and shut it off. And it'll just make a mess of small chickens, and once they're all hatched and just hanging out here, you throw the water out. Now, the problem with leaving the water there constantly is that when they hatch, because they're fully in the water block, they'll try to swim up, and then they'll suffocate and drown. And of course, you don't get any drops from baby chickens, so that's just not going to be helpful at all. And then of course, yeah, basically once you shut that off, got the baby chickens, you just hit the button here, get the water source block, and you'll notice they're just kind of hanging out underneath it. That's because they're only half a block high as baby chickens, but they become a full block high as adult chickens. So when they become adults, they'll go up in here, they'll drown, and then their drops will land on this half slab, which allows items to go through to a hopper, and then down into this chest. So that's all just hanging out in there. So that'll go there for now, and we'll come back to that later. But yeah, so that's kind of the chicken farm. Now, technically, I don't really need all of this pen stuff, because they're in this redstone contraption, but I left it here for consistency, so it looks the same as the rest. Now, the thing with this is, because it's built into the ground, it actually shows through on the bottom of this, and like we have an area over here for sheep as well, but because sheep eat grass, we had to do dirt blocks instead of just like a cobblestone kind of look to it. And so you have the dirt texture on the bottom, which is clearly visible, which I'll show you in a bit. And it just doesn't look good. So I was planning on doing some half slabbing underneath all of these platforms to give it some consistency and make it look a little bit better from underneath. Now you notice down here is what looks like a support structure for this platform. Now there's another one over underneath the oak tree farm as well, and we'll be adding one under the jungle and birch sections here eventually. Those are not just for looks, those are actually cactus farms. And the one under the oak platform is complete at the moment and is currently producing a decent amount of cactus. Now we're going to upgrade it a little bit later when we have more resources to work with, in particular iron, to make it somewhat more effective, but for the time being it's fine, and once we have 4 of them running at the same time, that'll be even better. So yeah, let me head back over to the main section of the base and we'll kind of show you some of the lower portions. Now you'll notice here, this large structure, this whole thing is the mob grinder. It's 5 floors. The first 4 are 2 high and the very top level is 3 high. Now I did that because I typically don't allow Endermen to spawn in my grinders, just because, you know, I didn't have redstone to work with when I was making this, so I had to use water to move the mobs. Endermans hate water, so if they fall, they hit the water, they teleport back onto the platform, and then they just sit up there and suck up the mob cap and make your spawner somewhat less effective. Well, that's irritating. So when I originally designed this, all of the floors were only too high to prevent Endermen from spawning. And of course, you know, we have the challenge section here, which you'll see down here. The Pearl Collector. You probably saw a flash on there. If not, there is a challenge called Pearl Collector. You basically get 15 Ender Pearls and turn them in for whatever the rewards are. And of course, I needed Endermen to spawn, and I tried making the little sheep area here dark, and yeah, that's just the worst spawning pad ever. So, we did a modification to this and made that top level 3 high so that Endermen could spawn in it, and filled out the platform over the water channels so that when they do fall, it's directly down the main shaft, which actually causes more damage to them, which is fine because they have more health than typical mobs. They still take 2 or 3 hits with a stone sword to kill from that particular height. But it does give me access to a decent amount of Ender Pearls in addition to the normal mob drops, which you see I got 5 from just a little grinding bit earlier, and I got a couple stacks and a chest in there as well. So that all works pretty well. Anyway, let's continue on down. Of course, you noticed in the background we've got the cow and pig farms. Pretty standard kind of stuff, nothing too fancy with that. Yeah, I do collect cactus. It's kind of my cash crop here on the server, so it just makes sense. Now, for a while, yeah, here it is. They had this bug where if you don't close the door by the edge, it won't stay closed. Like, I'll open it, close it, and it just pops back open. I don't know if that's some sort of lag thing or like a plug-in thing, but if you close it right along the edge, it sticks for whatever reason. So if you're OCD about closing doors, just watch out for that. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, they'll kill each other. This area is actually a fairly recent addition. You can even see it's not done yet because I gotta add some more fence. But it's basically just like a large fishing pond. Now, originally, I had designed it for spawning squids until, you know, I did some research because there weren't any spawning and found out that this is the wrong height to spawn squids. So yeah, this is a fishing pond. Always intended it to be a fishing pond. No questions. Just accept it, and we'll do that. But yeah, as I said, the bobber not really showing up last time I checked. Yeah, see, that's cast. You can kind of see the... Oh, I just pointed out my screen, which you guys can't see. You can kind of see the particle effects in the water, like the fish are moving towards it. But it's really hard to tell where you're at. And, now, I did see the bubbles this time, though, which is a little different than what I'm used to. That does actually make the fishing mechanic a little bit easier, even without the... without the bobber. Like, right now I can't tell if I'm cast or not. Okay, I don't know. We're gonna put that in there, and that'll take care of that. But yeah, so this is basically just the fishing area, and over here is an access for a mushroom farm. Oh, well, it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, all right, I need to fix that. Yeah, I'll show you that in more detail here in a second. I have to grab a bucket. And in fact, let's just go ahead and upgrade that now, because I had it in my mind to upgrade that, and that's a pretty simple, easy project to just knock out here real quick, and it just makes sense to go ahead and do it. Oh yeah, this of course is the enchanting room. It took a while to get the glowstone for that, because I have to grind it all on the mob grinder. It's kind of a rare job. Kitchen. So I do cooking and potion brewing stuff in here. Of course, potion brewing chest. I need one of those. And workshop. And of course, bedrooms back in there. Now here, I will need one smooth stone. Yeah, I've got all the smooth stone, all the cobblestone for a later project, which we'll discuss further in the future here. But I will need a button. And then once... Oh, I need a bow. Alright. We'll just put this together down in the fishing area, because I have a bench down there as well. Super laggy. Super laggy. Let's explode them. Okay, there. Now that should restore my frame rates to, like, not suckish. Yeah, so you can see we've had a fair amount of mob drops come in from various sources, and I've slowly just sort of been working through them. Okay, yeah. So grab a bow, head down to the fishing area where we'll be doing our upgrade. I forgot the bucket. I went up to the top to get a bucket and completely forgot it. So I will grab that and I will be right back. Alright, yeah, so I've got the bucket at this point, and we're basically all set, ready to go. Even did a little inventory cleanup, even though I just randomly grabbed garbage on my way through. Oh, my helmet's gone. Oh, sad day. Alright, well, I'll have to grab another one. But for right now, we're gonna make ourselves a dispenser. Because, oh, for crying out loud, did I really forget the... I'll be right back. Alright guys, and now that I've found those D batteries, or redstone, I guess in this case. Yeah, forgetting the redstone is equivalent to forgetting the batteries. I don't really need that extra cobble, but I'm just going to leave it there for now, because it won't use it. I can just quickly get back. Okay, so, yeah, the idea of this is it's actually hooked up to my mushroom farm, which is this center pillar here. It goes all the way down to the very, very bottom, which is kind of hard to see from all the way up here, but I'll show it to you here in a minute. We'll go all the way down the ladder and you can see just how ridiculously large it is. Yeah, I decided to not go small on anything in this particular playthrough, and well, it's been fun so far. But yeah, you can kind of see the mushrooms spawning off of this even now. That's pretty crazy. Especially given the light levels over here. But anyway, there's not actually supposed to be water in here, because this is the method you would use to collect the mushrooms. You just kind of place a bucket down and it flows down, and your frame rates get terrible for a couple minutes, and then you pull it back up and you go collect all your mushrooms. But apparently I forgot to recollect the water last time, so I won't have mushrooms for a while, which is fine, because I already have like a ton of them. But yeah, what we're going to do today is replace the use a bucket system with the use a dispenser system. And I need to be facing that direction when I do this, so that really does need to go there. Okay. Now that I know what I'm doing... oh, who am I kidding? I never know what I'm doing. Alright, yes. See? Dispenser. Forward. Excellent. That will go there. Oh. And we're going to just button that right on the back. Now, if I press this, it should set forth the water. When I press it again, it should suck it back up. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, perfect. It's like I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Anyway. So, there. That's done. See? Wonderful project. All complete. And so we're going to hurry up a little bit since I'm running out of time. If I go too much longer, perhaps it's YouTube's going to freak out, and this video is going to take forever to render and all that nonsense. But this is just kind of like a sub-level. I really haven't decided what I want to do with this platform yet. If you guys have any ideas at all, I would love to get your feedback on this, because like I'm just sort of sitting down here and going, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's not a great viewing platform for the neighbors. Like, I guess you can kind of see them from here, but it's better to look at them from the top than it is from the bottom. And but anyway, this is the whole cactus farm setup. You can kind of see everything. And yeah, it is tapered like this on the bottom side as well, so it is fairly decorative, but it's also serving a vital function, just making sure I have the means to acquire additional money for stuff. But yeah, this is what I was talking about for the underside stuff. Like, you can see that chest, and then over there you can kind of see the dirt underneath. It just looks bad, so I'm probably just gonna like cobble half slab the square part underneath here to give it a consistent look on all the different platforms. Cows. Anyway, so yeah, there's that, and we'll go a little bit further down. I'll show you the collection area. Now this is just a temporary access for the construction of the cactus farms. You can kind of see the setup style here. Like, I'll go up here. I've got a temporary staircase set up. When I finish it off, there will be cobble here. Wait. Okay, yes. There will be cobblestone here and here, and there will be water flowing down to there. But we'll go all the way up to the top. Now, each of these supports is actually made of 6 sections of these, each one hosting 8 cactus with the automatic braking systems set up, and except for the very last one at the bottom, which can only do 6 because it's right up next to that mushroom farm. But yeah, water will go here, here, and here, flows down, have cactuses on the sand. When they grow past that first block, they automatically pop off because they're next to another block, and then they either land on a cactus and get destroyed, or they fall into the water streams and get carried down to the hoppers down at the bottom. Now, the thing with using the water streams is that on occasion, if the item is flowing right along the corner here, when it comes and falls down here, it's landing basically right on top of a cactus. So there's a potential for it to get accidentally destroyed, which means the efficiency of these is better towards the end than it is up towards the beginning. Now, the way to fix that, of course, is to use hoppers, just like a whole line of hoppers all the way down instead of water. Obviously, that's going to take a lot of iron. I gotta get an iron farm set up before I can set up any of that nonsense. So that's a project for the future, like way down the line for the future. And but that will be fun, and we'll get to do that together if you decide to stick with me for that. And then we go down a little bit further. This is the actual collection level, which I will flesh out a little bit more later. Right now it's just a sort of temporary access so I can get down here to the chest. Now, you'll notice here, kind of looks like we've got a full block over the chest, which would normally prevent you from opening it. That's actually not an issue because that's actually a staircase. So it gives you the look of a full block, but still allows you to open the chest because it's a transparent block. And of course, this is the arm that's actually set up and running full capacity right now. You can kind of see we're getting a fair amount into each one. I have been AFKing for like 3 hours at this point, just kind of letting that run, not taking any out. So that's why there's so much in there, but obviously it'll be more efficient as we add more and when we replace the water with the hoppers. Yeah. Oh, and then down at the bottom is our mushroom collection area, so I'll show you that real quick. But yeah, I mean, the majority of that's kind of my island up at this point. Next project, what I'd like to work on the next episode is just doing the next arm of the cactus farm, and just getting that set up and ready to go for when we can afford the sand to actually get all of that installed. What I'll have to do there is just like spam farm carrots and sell those at the spawn shop and buy all the sand that I need. It's like $1,000 a block, which is kind of irritating, but it's understandable because cactus is like $300 for 8, and all the other stuff is less, and it's like super easy to do an automatic farm with, and everything else is a little bit more difficult to set up. So, I mean, I get it. Anyway, this is the mushroom farm, and of course these, as the water just kind of serpentines down, hitting these signs, mushrooms fall down here, and mushrooms fall down here. Now what I need to do is set up a chest right here, with a hopper right here on both sides, and just have water flowing on top of the chest, bringing drops to the hopper, because they will fall directly here, and they'll all go in the hopper, and they'll all go in the chest, and that will just work perfectly. And it won't take that much iron, but it's not a vital thing because I don't really collect mushrooms that often. Honestly, I have like 5 or 6 full stacks of both types of mushrooms, which is more than I could ever possibly need, and unfortunately you can't sell them in the shop because they are so easy to get massive amounts of. So really it's just like trading with other players, and I could do that, and I will need to do that for certain resources, like lapis, which you can't buy in the shop, but like you need for fun things like fireworks and whatnot, and that's a project for later as well. We'll talk about in another episode, just like a big fireworks system. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my island, and I appreciate you taking the tour with me. Like I said, next episode we'll get started on the third branch of the cactus farm. And we'll just kind of see what we want to do from there. So thanks for stopping by, guys. It's been fun, and I'll talk at you later.